Hi, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Project 1. So I'm in our course home right now, and then I'm going to go to content, which is where I recommend you spend most of your time on D2L, because that's where our entire course is mapped out. So in content, we can go to writing projects. That's a place where you can find Project 1. It's listed as both a Word document and a PDF document. Not terrible. But if you'd like to download it, you always have that opportunity. And you can click to the right here and choose to download. This way you get normal formatting. Okay, writing a research proposal. So a research proposal is a stated plan for research which may change, and some of which should change throughout the course of your project. This is a plan for your project, but as the saying goes, the best laid plans. So of course, once you've done a bunch of research and once you have a little bit more of a sense of what your proposal, of what your project is going to be, this will change. But a proposal is just a plan. It should have a few specific things though. It should be 3 to 5 typed double-spaced pages with regular 1-inch margins. And it should include the following: a clear articulation of your question. The question is really the most important thing at this point. And a good research question can be a little bit hard to develop. It should not be a yes or no question. It should be probably a how or a why question or a what question. And it should be something that needs to be researched. If you know the answer to your question, it's not a good research question. The next piece that you need is the critical conversation to which you hope your research contributes. And that simply means there's critical conversations about anything you can think of. And what makes up a critical conversation is just the many different voices and research that has already been done about this particular issue. I'd also like you to include your chosen research method. So your primary method may simply be textual research, textual analysis, or secondary research. But you may choose to do some primary research too. So in addition to accumulating secondary research, you may want to look at some specific documents. You may want to go to a place to look at something. You may want to interview people. So you have some options there. You should also outline the basic methodology that guides your choice of method. And methodology is essentially just a fancy word for the thinking that guides your choice of method. Your interest in this research area should also be included, and then the plans for how you'll make sense of your data. So how are you going to analyze it? If you decide that you are going to choose some particular documents to examine, let us know that you're going to do rhetorical analysis. Instead, you might decide that you want to do some sort of content analysis where you look at how many times a particular word has been said or something in a document. All of this is detailed further in the readings for this week and our previous week, but if you have questions, please let me know. A couple of things you should not have. You should not have a thesis or a conclusion. Since you haven't done the research yet, it would be impossible to have a thesis or a conclusion. You may use the recommendations above that I've listed as headings for your proposal. So it doesn't have to just be one continuous essay. It can have headings that list the introduction, critical conversation, research method, methodology, relationship to research, and plan for analysis. And also use the grading rubric that details how your work is going to be assessed. That's on the next page. So let me show you that briefly. So you'll be graded on your research question, which orients the ideas, gives it a focus, your method and methodology, organization, development or your plan for analysis, and then the grammar and mechanics. Going back up briefly. Use your proposal to tell a story about the engaging research you plan to develop. As McKinney-Madalena reminds us, please use I and make it interesting. So if you're not excited about your research, if you are not interested in this project, it's going to be hard to develop it. So keep revising, keep working until you find something that you're excited about, that you can tell an interesting story about, that you can develop an interesting research proposal about. Something that will be fun for you to write will be something that's fun for me to read and interesting for me to read. All right, at the bottom here, I have a heuristic, which is just questions to get you started. You don't have to answer any of these questions in your proposal, but it's just an opportunity for invention or pre-writing brainstorming. So you might just sit down right now and answer these questions. What area of interest do you have genuine questions about? What are you curious about? What are your questions? Have you heard something recently and you just weren't sure it was true? Did you question someone's findings? Do you need to conduct primary research to complete this project? If so, which method will you use? Will your project primarily rely on secondary research? If so, from what venues? All right, so these are all questions, again, that might get you started. And I hope that this is fun for you all. Let me know if you have questions, and I look forward to seeing the final product.